Hello everybody and welcome to Letterbox Book Club. My name is Neferet.
My name is Aphrodite.
And today we are talking about Hidden by PC and Kristin cast.
The 10th book?
10th, yep.
Oh, we're almost there.
We're in the last quarter. It's the last quarter of the grand final. Things aren't looking good.
No, Sydney will not make a comeback. This episode is just a little bit different because we're doing both Hidden and Revealed.
Yes, Revealed. We're also doing Revealed.
Yeah, 2 for 1 because we just want to get this done.
We're done.
We just want this out of the way.
Ironic that it's called Hidden because it appears that a good plot has been hidden from me.
Was that your joke?
That was my joke.
It's very fair.
We did pre-discuss that I wanted to tell a joke. So that's my joke.
We wanted to get it out of the way.
I would have forgotten it.
Alrighty, okay. So we'll do thoughts, feelings, emotions for both, and then we'll just go through like chronologically what happened in like Revealed or Hidden and then Revealed, whichever way we want to do it.
Yeah. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first? I did the intro, so you can go first.
Thoughts? The blurb first.
Pull up. Oh, the blurb.
Damn,
okay. I just
so
gotta get the blurb for Revealed as well.
That's okay. Mackenzie has misplaced her book.
It's in my house somewhere. I've got all the other ones except for this one.
Also, there may be special guest appearances by Kenzie's son James.
Oh yes.
And that we may be distracted because Kenzie got a kitten.
I got a
this
cat.
week.
Yep.
So
I'd known it before we saw the fire trucks and the smoke. I'd known all hell had broken loose at the House of Night the moment it had been proven beyond all doubt that Neferet was on the side of darkness. At last, Zoey has what she wanted. The truth is out. Neferet's evil has been exposed, and the High Council is no longer on her side. But she is far from done wreaking havoc in the vampire world. With the seeds of distrust sown and darkness breeding chaos at the House of Night, everyone must band together. But that's proving to be more difficult than ever before. Zoey knows that following her instincts might be just what they need to defeat evil, but if she's wrong, it could cause the destruction of those closest to her. Also, I'm really sorry, I know I have been saying Neferet this whole time, but that's because we're Aussie bogans. And now I've been listening to the audiobooks and now I say Neferet because I can't get it out.
I had to hide my like little laugh before.
I know, so I'm sorry. Do you want me to do the Revealed one now or do you want...
Yeah, we'll get Revealed out of the way.
Alright, cool. Everyone, plug, shout out. We are drinking Bilson's Musk vodka. If Bilson's could sponsor us,
please.
That would be brilliant.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love the Musk vodka.
Okay, Revealed. Drastically altered after her fall at the end of Hidden, Neferet is now more dangerous than ever, and her quest for vengeance will wreak havoc on humans as well as Zoey and her friends. Chaos is loose in Tulsa and the House of Night is blamed. Can Zoey stop Neferet in time to keep her anger from escalating to the full-on war, or will someone else have to step in to take the fall?
Thoughts, feelings, emotions.
Thoughts, feelings, emotions.
Thoughts, feelings, emotions. Well, I mean, I finished it.
Yeah, that's a start. It's better than I've ever done.
Yeah. I have not decided the DNF yet.
Oh,
there's time.
There's time. There's one more book.
How stupid would it be to just like not
be like, nah, I don't care.
Yeah. Very tense beginning because of the whole stables catching on fire.
Yes,
you know,
I liked. Yeah. Oh, you go first.
It's a bit of an explosive start, one would say.
Ooh. Stunning.
And then I don't know. It just seems like it's again a lot of plot driven through just like dialogue and not really a lot of action. Oh, there's still quite a bit of action. That's okay. And I just found it funny because I was going throughout like a TikTok stuff. It's fine. The cat's climbing on me. And it's like we said that Grandma Redbird is like unkillable, and then this happens.
Oh no, she gets kidnapped. Yeah,
she gets kidnapped and tortured.
She didn't get killed though, so
no. But yeah, I don't know. That was just interesting, and just I suppose little interpersonal character relationships is what's really taken the main focus away from like the plot and everything. I'm content.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
yeah. What about you, Kenzie?
My thoughts, feelings, and emotions are very similar to every other thoughts, feelings, emotions in this book series. It's a book. It's all right. It's a YA book. It could have been 4 books. Yeah, it would make a fantastic 3-season television series, limited series.
Only 3 seasons? Generous?
Yeah, well, you could fit it all in.
I reckon 2.
2? Alright.
With like a good
2 and then like
16 episodes.
Yeah, 2 seasons, but then the final 2 episodes are movie length.
Yeah. Of course. Sure.
I mean, that's all I have to say on thoughts, feelings, emotions, but like I want to get into like the plot and stuff of it.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done. I'm done. I just, the first 3 books were good. Were very, very good. Like you could get into it. And now it's just what happened to the original plot of the story.
Yeah, it's like everything, like a new element is introduced, and then that's kind of taken over. So we're losing like the sight of what's the main objective here.
I want to ask you a question, Claire. For this book, what impression did you get on what the timeline was?
Oh, I haven't thought about the timeline for a while because I don't care about the timeline. I would say it's at least from the ending of which event?
From the reveal ritual.
Reveal ritual. I would say it's at least a couple of days. Is that the wrong answer?
It's the next day.
All this happens. I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
I think within the week after.
Yeah, because the Nados and all that come back from the reveal ritual to the stables being on fire.
Yeah, because the book starts with Neferet's
sacrifice,
and so it's happening. This first chapter is happening simultaneously to the end of the previous book that I can't remember the title of because I don't care.
Destined.
There we go. Destined to be shit. I'm gonna get sued. Elmo's gonna sue.
It's your opinion. It's free speech, dude.
Yeah, and I did enjoy that. And we have said this before. We do enjoy the simultaneous POVs point of views,
reactions.
Because you know what's happening all at the same time, and
it's good to get like Neferet's point of view in that situation as well, because we knew she's up to something.
Yeah, and you don't get that like miscommunication of people not knowing what's happening, because you do get all the different people telling you what they're experiencing in that moment.
Yeah,
so that's fun.
Yeah,
but because I just I was listening. Yeah, they're talking to the High Council or whatever, and or they're talking to just people in general, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, last night at the reveal ritual," and I was like, "Hold up a dang fucking minute!" It hurts me very muchly.
Would your guess? Okay, so we're gonna rewind a little bit back to the minute Zoey was marked. How much time has passed?
Oh,
at least 4 months.
Yeah, so
I reckon
I'm going to talk about more timeline in when we start talking about revealed, because I just listened to a part and I was like, what the fuck?
Okay. It's really put it all into perspective.
So 4 months is generous, I reckon.
Okay, God damn.
Yeah, with the way these timelines work. Yeah. So, and this is what I'm saying, in that it would have been a good like 4 book.
Yeah,
because it's not, with these 12 books, I would be like, oh, it's a year's worth of stuff. Oh, no, that's generous. I would say it's 2 to 3 years of things happening, and you get like a bit of reprieve, but
you never get reprieve.
That ain't the case.
No, we're just gonna traumatize these kids.
These
soon to be immortal kids.
Okay, let's get into the plot of the book.
Yes, so this book starts with the stables being caught on fire. Again, the first couple of chapters is simultaneous in that Neferet sacrifices Shadowfax, which we learn is Dragon's cats, which is quite ironic because Dragon dies.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like, Lenobia is discovering, like, the flames and all
yes,
that type
and
of stuff.
she sacrificed the cat because she needed more power to control Aurochs.
Yes,
because he wasn't listening to her at the reveal ritual.
Yes, and because we know he is trying to...
And I always assumed that Neferet was at the reveal ritual from a distance, but she's just, like, mind controlling, Aurochs.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. Oh, and we also do get the sort of reveal that Lenobia loves
a sense. Yeah, I guess
Travis.
Sense. Yeah.
And then we had Lenobia's chapter of her...
We get more of her backstory more so.
Yeah, her backstory of her and a human lover who was her mate.
Yeah, named Martin. What a name.
Yeah. And he died, saving her from...
I think she was going to be like a vampire slave or something.
Yeah.
Because it was like a whole 1700, 1800 thing.
Yeah. And then, so immediately I was like, well, he's reincarnated into Travis.
Yeah. Something was up.
Yeah.
Once she gets the backstory and she's finding these familiarities, it's like, yep.
Yeah.
And then obviously later on, Zoey does confirm that through the Seer Stone.
Through the Seer Stone.
Which is cute.
Yeah.
Because, we always talked about reincarnation... Because throughout the middle parts of the series, like, we're all... Neferet's trying to claim Nyx reincarnate, Kelowna, son of Erebus reincarnate, but there was never a definition or a definitive thing or confirmation that reincarnation exists, and until about now. Oh, I suppose it kind of does trickle with the idea with the Aya thing, but obviously that whole storyline has gone the fuck where.
Yeah.
But it's good that it's like confirmed that it's absolutely possible. And then it was also I guess, confirmed with Heath his soul being placed into Aurochs. So
I think that's a different thing though. Because it's not, well, it is his soul in Aurochs, but Aurochs sort of has a mind of his own as well. It's not just Heath in another body. It's Heath sort of fighting Oryx, and there's a moment in this one.
I don't know.
Yeah, or the next one.
Pretty much the next two books, Oryx is just in an existential crisis.
Yeah, it might be the next one, I think, because he asks, what does coattailing mean?
I think it's the next book.
Yeah.
And because, it's very much a Heath thing as well.
Yeah.
So, I think that's next book. But, nice to know that reincarnation is, like, now absolutely 100% plausible in this universe.
Yeah.
Because, like, we don't... did we really trust Kelowna's word back then?
No. And also, interesting things coming up surrounding Kelowna. But also, audiobook Erebus. Not Erebus.
Erebus?
Erebus. Yeah.
Sons of Erebus, Sons of Erebus. What sounds better?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Again, bogan Aussies, what can we say?
We're sorry. Someone out there is like, these fucking idiots.
Just like how when people pronounce, like, Throne of Glass characters and we're like, oh, that's not it.
Yeah.
But we get a lot of Lenobia's backstory, which was nice. And then I think there was a moment where, her and Travis kiss. I think maybe once they saved everybody.
Once he's saved, because they're trying to give her oxygen, and she's like, "Get the fuck off me, go save him," and then she kisses him in front of a bunch of fledglings.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is cute."
Yeah.
Honestly, Lenobia sounds like a great person, and she's just been through a lot. I feel like all the professors have like been through a lot.
Yeah, she's like 300 years old. So.
Yeah, she's an old girl.
Yeah.
Cougar.
No?
Yeah. I don't think that really counts if it's towards your true mate type of thing. Or soulmate.
Yeah, still vibey vibes are a little bit.
And while like the stables fire is settling down, this is when like Thanatos and how do they pronounce in the audiobook
Thanatos?
Okay, good. Because Thanatos. Yeah. They're returning from the reveal ritual, and obviously they are ready to bring justice upon Neferet, because obviously the death reveal ritual, brings in absolute clarity, and Neferet needs to be shunned. And so the Vampire Council needs to be contacted ASAP. And then Thanatos also still gets like a feeling of death, because like obviously the power and essence of darkness has been lingering. And also surprisingly, really quickly, Nicole was seen helping out. And like if we remember Nicole, she tried to kill fucking Stevie Ray.
Yeah, she was a red fledgling.
Yeah.
Who wasn't very nice, but
Wasn't
now
nice.
she's like, I need to get the horses out, like,
Yeah, so she has some sort of humanity after all. Mm-hmm. And she goes on a bit of a journey.
Yes. And Shaylin.
I say Shaylin.
Oh yeah, I can't remember in the book.
Shaylan.
Yeah.
Shaylin.
Yeah, she sees that Nicole's colours are changing.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
And obviously, because with Shaylin's true sight, like we trust her, because obviously colours, are reflective of like emotions and all that ish.
Yeah. I like her character. I like her character when I'm reading it. When I'm listening to it, I hate her character. Same with Sark.
Oh really?
I know, they just put like certain like attitudes on them.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. And Shaylin just comes across as this whiny little like, oh, I want to see people's colours, but I don't want to be rude. And
I get that. It's your gift.
And
just
I think it means this, but like, shut up.
Too fluttery.
Yeah,
Fluffy.
yeah. You have true sight.
She's been marked for like 2 days.
This is true. Yeah, and now she's. Yeah.
So she wants to make sure she's, I suppose, doing the right thing early on.
Yeah.
Imagine 2 days in getting thrust in.
I know. Yeah, you forget about everything.
And and she's never like she's been blind, so like obviously she's overwhelming. She doesn't want to offend anybody, especially now that she's in the presence of like Thanatos, which is a high vampire council member. Like you want to be sure and confident despite only being marked for 2 days.
I know, that's the thing I forget with the timeline. I'm like, get with the fucking picture, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Because I always think, like, between books that there's a significant time jump. Yeah.
Because, like, they settle down, and then I suppose it'd be very disruptive, settling down in school, have nothing happen, settling down in school. Whereas,
but at least Voldemort always waited till the end of the school year.
I mean, what a considerate man. A king, some would say. But I mean, these guys are like they're gonna, if they survive the change, they're gonna be immortal anyway, so they can have all the education they want. I understand what you mean with Shaylin, because she's very like, I don't want to offend anyone, and it's like, I don't know if it's this book, probably more so the next book, but like her and Aphrodite work together, and it's like they're bantering between the two of them, because Shaylin's like, I don't want to be mean, I don't want to talk about people behind their back, and it's like, this is your job.
Yeah, and then again, because there's always like the themes of free choice, next gives you free choice, and it's like, yeah, you have the free choice to be a fucking bitch. Like,
Yeah, but
yeah, and it's Nyx wouldn't have given you this gift if
again,
she wanted you to not use it.
or like interpret it how you think you should.
Yeah.
Again, this is all part of Nyx's fucking path
Yeah,
of
well, I
life
don't like
to defeat darkness. It's silly. And so, yeah, and so Thanatos is feeling a lingering sense of death because she has the affinity for death, and so they find Shadowfax's dead cat body just chilling there, sacrificed.
And Guinevere as well, who was
Anastasia's cat. She died of a broken heart.
I know, immediately.
Like, you hear that from, like, say, like, older couples in, like, fiction, or even in real life, like, you know, like a husband or a wife die, and then a couple of days later they go. It's like, I suppose it may, just because they're old, like, it could just be the timing thing, but, like, just the
There's a
trope
thing
of
called,
dying,
like, broken heart syndrome or whatever.
Yeah, dying of a broken heart. Oof. I never would have thought it would have been similar with cats. Does that mean that cats were mated as well? Yeah. Damn, they were full-on soulmates to the extreme.
Yeah. And then, they saw their, like, souls go into the other world, and they were kittens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's so fucking cute. And then, and everyone's squabbling with each other, and Thanatos is having enough. She's like, cut it out, because we've got to work together.
Yeah, Thanatos is like, stop acting like children.
Yeah. And this is where, like, Shaylin really comes to Zoey and be like acknowledges her as, like, a high priestess. Because Thanatos is being like, all right, Zoey, you're a high priestess of the blue, Stevie Ray, the red, you're going to work together. Aphrodite, Shaylin, and even, like, Cramisha to an extent. Like, you're all, like, prophetesses in your own way and true sight and all that stuff. So you guys, you know, fucking work together.
Yep.
And so that was a bit of a blow up. And it took a bit of time. Like, the bickering takes up a lot of pages in this book, and that's like just
it takes up so much time for something that's happening in like 3 days. It's like,
sure.
So what, you fought for like an hour and then you're like, okay, let's work together.
And then I suppose moving on, we get some Aurochs chapters as well. He's just having an existential crisis because he's running away. Oh, because he's pretty much on the run from the House of Night because of killing Dragon Langford and attempting to kill Rephaim. And he stumbles upon Sylvia Redbird's Lavender Farm.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
And she takes him in, and she's like, "Well, I forgive you."
Yeah, and it's like, of course, Grandma's.
I know. She's like, "Have some lavender and chocolate chip cookies and some handmade moccasins."
Yeah,
love a mocky.
Yeah, Grandma's too trusting for a woman who's almost died like 3 times. At this point.
I also like. I understand you have a lavender farm.
Yeah,
but it's like, here's my lavender infused chocolate chip cookies.
Like everything.
Here's my lavender infused tea. Here's my blah blah. And I'm like, shut up.
What does, as an essence, lavender helps with protection or like cleansing of bad energy. Makes sense. Given
but also, again with the really leaning into the false Native American narrative that they've created.
Yes, and spirituality.
So Aurochs is taken in, and then he has an existential crisis. He's like, "What the fuck?
What am I?
Yeah, what am I? Why?
I choose light.
Yeah,
I've tried to fight darkness.
Yeah, why is she being so nice to me? I need to go and bury myself in the ground."
Pretty much, yeah.
So he goes back to the House of Night, and he just hides out under the tree.
I feel like he stumbled into the hole, and he's like, "I'm going to stay."
And he's just like, "All right, this is me now. I'm whole man."
And then next scene, it's Rephaim's chapter, and he finds the tree, and he's like, "I'm going to fix the tree. I'm going to heal the tree," because he feels like that's something Nyx would appreciate.
Yeah, and he says it out loud like a bozo.
And it took me, because I was skimming heavily. I was like, "Why does Auroch see him? Like, how did he end up in this crowd?"
Yeah, no, he just hears him. He doesn't see him.
Yeah. Or he recognizes the voice.
Yeah.
But back to Grandma real quick. Of course, there has to be that fairy godmother moment. Like, I believe in you, even though this is a complete stranger who's like tried to kill you, your granddaughter and co. But yeah, nah, it's good.
I was like, also, he wouldn't exist without the death of your daughter. So
yeah, for sure. Ooh, yeah, and Grandma knows about that kind of. Does she know about Aurochs being a vessel? I don't remember.
I think so.
Maybe.
But she says, like, I forgive you or whatever.
Yeah. She goes on the whole spiel about, you know, you make bad mistakes doesn't necessarily mean you're a monster, that type of blah, blah, blah. But yeah, Grandma saves the day.
Grandma is the queen of removing the art from the artist.
Yeah, exactly. Separating the art from the artist. And so, yeah, Aurochs and Grandma have a fun little relationship, I guess.
She's like, you can call me Grandma.
And I'm like, this is too soon,
no. Call her Sylvia at least.
She calls him something else, like the Cherokee name for like
Bull.
Yeah,
and he's all like, "Oh my gosh, she didn't call me Beast. She called me Bull." And she's like, "Because I don't think you're a beast."
Yeah. That's very Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Is this the Beauty and the Beast retelling we never knew we needed?
Oh my god.
It's Grandma and Aurochs.
Stop it! It's Grandma and Heath.
80% Aurochs, 20%
Yeah.
Heath.
And so, Zoe's having an existential crisis as well.
Yeah.
Because at the end of Destined, Zoey looked through the seer stone and saw Heath in Aurochs, and she yelled out his name, and so everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, everyone thinks she's crazy.
But like no one's mentioned it yet, because again it's been a few hours.
And like the stable's just caught on fire and Shadowfax is dead.
Yeah.
Like so much is happening.
Yeah. So she thinks that no one noticed.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, good, like no one thinks I'm crazy.
Yeah. But like I hate the whole thing like, oh, I'm crazy, or I'm heading to crazy town, or people are like, oh, I think she's crazy, she's heading to crazy town. It's like, you're in a supernatural world. Nothing about this screams normal anyway.
Yeah.
Like, why is this not out of the question?
Yep.
Ugh, it's annoying. It's just the stupid teenage bickering that they've...
Because, Aurochs has left Grandma Sylvia Redbird's farm. I'm going to sneeze. There we go. She isn't like that protected, and Neferet, in all her naked glory, decides that for once and for all, I'm gonna destroy teenager Zoey Redbird by killing her grandmother.
Yeah. Neferet likes to be naked.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a
I
common
mean,
thing.
I also enjoy being naked, but in the comfort of my own home.
For sure. Like, you're not going to rock up to a grandma who you're wanting to kill.
Yeah. Again, the Mr. Burns.
But yeah, even just like before that, like Neferet takes a public press conference.
Oh yeah, press conference, yes.
Yeah, she's like playing the victim and like expressing discontent towards the House of Night and about, I don't know,
saying that like the red fledglings are dangerous, especially Stark, and
singling him out.
Yeah.
His whole arrow affinity, archery. And so that happens, and then that prompts another press conference from the House of
from
Night to get their
Thanatos,
side
yeah,
of
who
the
just
story.
basically says that Neferet is a disgruntled
Disgruntled
employee who's been
ex-employee.
fired, because she's been shunned, because she gets shunned
Yes,
by the Vampire High Council over a Skype call.
of course it has to be
Of course,
Skype call.
I've said this previously, and I don't know why they always have to be like specifically like Skype. Like, why can't you just say a video call or whatever?
Yeah. I suppose back then you could get away with saying products like Skype or like even like Apple without any sort of licensing or as an advertisement. The cat running. So stupid. Far out. So the House of Night has interviews. Damien, Shawnee, everyone gets interviewed, and there's a moment where Damien is flirting with a reporter.
Of course, there's a reporter and he's male, and straight
He's
away
gay.
he's gay. Because of course we always need
And
to
Jack just
introduce.
died.
Jack just died like
be-
a few days
To be
ago.
fair, we shouldn't like
Everyone
slut
grieves
shame,
differently.
But like Zoey is able to bounce between several people, so like Damien can then.
I don't care about him going to another guy. I care about it's been like 3 days since Jack died in this
fair.
timeline.
Yeah.
And also, when we introduce new characters, do we really need to introduce characters just to pair them off?
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's a whole thing about like very stereotypically gay and stuff, but also
he's an adult reporter.
he's an adult. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
And Damien's like, what, 17?
Yeah, despite being a vampire and inevitably being immortal. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be a risk he's willing to take, but the fact that he's
The
like,
fact that he's an adult.
16, 17 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they could have emphasised that it was a reporter intern or something.
Maybe,
but,
yeah, for sure.
But no, he
It's
was
like
an
the head reporter.
Yeah, he was an adult male reporter.
Yeah. And like that whole interview takes a lot of time. It's just re-spewing plot stuff and like what Neferet's done. And
Yeah.
it's
Exposition
a pretty
dumping.
much good exposition recap of what's happened.
Yeah.
Which was pretty nice. But
But
like,
also,
I
have such an issue with, and they do this in every book, like Zoey will be internally monologuing or whatever, and it'll be like, oh my god, like in this book, I just feel like I haven't gotten enough rest since we did the reveal ritual that revealed Neferet killed my mum, and then the stable caught on fire. Like, there's just a retelling of all the plot points.
Yeah.
And it's like, you should just know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, if
Yeah.
you're this committed to the series, you would know.
Yeah. So let's get into the nitty-gritty plot
Yeah.
of Grandma
Pretty much, yeah. Grandma gets kidnapped.
gets kidnapped by Neferet.
And Neferet is wanting to offer her as a sacrifice, but like she's trying to really linger this out. Because like, for why? So, main juice of the book, Grandma's kidnapped.
Grandma has been kidnapped.
Finally.
Yeah, the next day after the reveal ritual.
Yes.
Because Neferet's like, well, if I sacrifice her, then Zoey Redbird will
And I think,
die.
I forgot to write this down, but I think Neferet is kind of separated from like the darkness bull now because she's been failing at all this.
Yes, because, none of her... She thinks that she needs to keep sacrificing because the darkness feeds on sacrifice or whatever and violence. And so, she thinks to control the bull, she needs to keep sacrificing. But, the bull is now not listening.
He's kind of receding his power in a way because she isn't doing nothing for it and doing nothing for him, essentially.
Yeah.
So now Neferet's taking more drastic measures. And I think the bull said pretty much like, impress me and I'll come back. Which it's going to be fun into the next book because big shit happens. But so we got some stakes again, I guess.
Yeah. But, I mean, we have stakes, but also, like, Grandma's not going to die. They're not going to kill off Grandma.
No, Grandma's going to live forever.
Yeah.
She is going to, Anyway, and then, like, Aurochs comes back to the House of Night. I forget why, but, like...
Because he goes back to Grandma's house and she's not there.
And he smells darkness.
He smells darkness and, like, there's
Blood.
drops of blood,
Yeah.
of Neferet's blood, because Grandma did a cool fake Native American dance and song.
I love
and
how you're saying, like, fake. And
and it fought off the darkness for a little bit. Enough to not injure her, but, like, to still be captured.
So Aurochs goes back to the House of Night and he warns everybody, and everyone is really hateful towards him because he did kill the
Dragon Langford the night before.
Attack Rephaim. Also, just quickly, Kelowna also Warrior's Oath to Thanatos, so he's still hanging around. He's now the Swordmaster.
He's chosen the path of light.
Yes. And, like, his storyline has been changed, like, kind of a lot. It's really bounced around because it's...
I know, and also, because he's meant to be this, all-powerful, immortal, dark being.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of just like, here's some side plot for you, take this oath or whatever. Yeah. Same with Eric. Like, Eric's kind of non-existent. Like, in this book, he makes a couple of appearances, but in the next book, I don't think he's in it.
I've honestly completely forgotten about Eric.
I don't think he's in the next book at all.
No, I don't think so. I don't remember anything about him.
I know he's in the last one.
He was mentioned.
Yeah, I know he's in the last one.
Yeah.
But he's like mentioned, like, and there's Eric or whatever.
Yeah,
but
Eric is standing next to Shaylin.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah, there is to him.
Yeah. Oh, he is in this one. He tries to kiss Shaylin.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but apart from that, he's not in it.
But Kelowna really is trying to like earn Nyx's forgiveness now, and that's where his storyline is taken off. We've completely forgotten about the Aya situation, the whole ruling the world. I suppose once it turned into Neferet, controlling him against his will, ironically, because he did a lot of stuff against other people's wills, like suddenly he has an issue. Yeah. And so he wants to rectify.
Yeah.
Now, doesn't he get a visit from his
brother,
Erebus?
Erebus? Is it in this one or the next one? I know it's in the next one as well.
I know it's in the next one, and I think it's in both.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe. Or whatever, and like,
I don't care.
I just find it like Erebus, he can manifest whenever he wants.
Yeah, I know, and then suddenly it's like, okay, you've introduced, now Erebus is a sentient being.
So where's Nyx?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think, Erebus does because, or Erebus, what do you say?
I say Erebus, but we used to say Erebus.
Erebus, whatever. It's because he is against Kelowna being the Swordmaster due to his nature of, it's sort of like a plague on like his name, Erebus's name, because he's like in charge.
Yeah, because Swordmaster's in charge of the Erebus's warriors.
Yeah, and obviously Kelowna is not worthy of such a title.
So is it in this book that he can't get into the temple?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, he tries to get into Nyx's temple.
He's locked out.
And the door turns to stone and he can't get it, but then like someone else walks past and can get in immediately.
And they're like, what are you doing, Kelowna? I love those moments are pretty funny though.
Yeah.
It's like Kelowna's gone crazy.
Yeah, and I think like at one point, like I think like Aphrodite is just like, you're so fucking weird. Like and it's like, it's like I love Aphrodite. And Aphrodite's just having mimosas for breakfast and shit. Like she's like, I'm done.
Yeah, they should all retire.
Yeah.
So that's Kelowna's story real quick before we get into the nitty gritty. Also, at some point, like, Erin has seemed to have turned to the dark side.
Oh, yeah.
She's hooking up with Dallas.
Yeah, Shawnee happens upon them near a fountain or something, and Erin's like, sexually like
aroused,
alluring
seducing.
Dallas. Yeah, seducing Dallas.
She's
which
just
is
getting naked.
Yeah, really weird.
Taking Neferet's approach, just being naked all the time.
Yeah, being naked. Yeah, she's like, look at my boobs, which is like, it's fine, but
I hate how Dallas talks because he's always like "girl" at the end.
yeah,
girl.
Yeah, girl. Yeah,
Me, girl. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah, we'll make more than electricity, girl, or whatever.
We'll make lightning.
Yeah, fuck off. You know what water and electricity makes? Dead.
Yeah, fried.
Yeah, and like, it's like because Shawnee and Erin split from being twins or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it felt like they were suddenly,
stupid reason.
Yeah, they were suddenly like, oh,
Enemies.
we have too many characters. Like, I don't know what stories. Let's just put Erin with Dallas, and then we don't have to write too much about it because it can just be like, oh, I haven't seen Erin. She's with Dallas.
Yeah, and it seems like anyone's able to step in for all her affinities and stuff now as well, because there was a moment where I think something happened and someone had to step in for a particular role, and even in the next book, someone else has to step in for a particular role. So it's like, what's the point in having these individualized affinities?
I know, and it's like, if anyone can step in for it, it's just like, oh, if you have an affinity, like you have the control over or whatever. But yeah,
you don't necessarily own the element. But yeah, so that's fun. But yeah, Shawnee and Erin's breakup is stupid. I feel like it shouldn't be driven more to the... I suppose it goes to show maybe perhaps deep down Erin is like just like a selfish-ish person.
And then I did enjoy Shawnee more once that was split, because it's like suddenly she had a personality.
She had her individualism.
But it's like, why couldn't you just have had one of them at the start, like just had Erin or just had Shawnee, and then you could have given them more character development. And then it just seems like the new characters that are introduced are just like overrunning the OG characters, because we had the main core, and then Cremish's come in, and now a bit more prominently for the red fledglings, and then now it's like, all right, Shaylin's come in on top of her with her true side. And they brought the red fledglings in, and it's like, okay, you like burn in the sun. And you have like compulsion, but like apart from that, like there's no difference. And so it's like, why make such a big deal out of like, oh, like Neferet's bringing like these kids back as these red fledglings or whatever, and then one, like she can't even control them. Two, like they're not important anymore.
It's just new character syndrome, I guess. You want to make them awesome and more important than the others.
Yeah, but I mean, and I guess because you have the 12 books, but it's like I would have liked to have spent more time on the other characters, like on a smaller amount of characters. And then again, like the Queen of Sky. Oh, I also know it's like to see Sigley.
Oh, is
it? Yeah, because audiobook to see Sigley.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
8 books later.
Yeah. Anyway, because Neferet refers to herself as like the to see Sigley. But yeah, like you introduce the island of Skiak.
Oh, I love that view. Audiobooks coming in handy.
And you introduce like the Queen of Skiak and stuff.
We get it. You know how to pronounce them. All right, relax.
I'm bilingual now.
You're half Scottish.
Anyway, then she was in like what 1.5 books, and then she was just like, see ya. And then now you've got Thanatos. She's now very important. It's like, why couldn't the Queen of Skiak be that important character, and then she's like, oh, I'll come back and be your high priestess then, or whatever. Like, why did it have to be?
Because she wanted to open up her world, so what better way than to practice what you preach? Just say Neferet's title again. She's the queen.
Skiak.
No, Neferet.
Oh, to see Sigley.
Nice.
Nice.
Just wanted to hear it again. To see Sigley. But all these too many characters to keep up with, and they're only relevant for so long.
They're only relevant for the book that they're in.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, this is what I said in a previous book. If Neferet was always going to be the big bad, why introduce Kelowna?
Yeah, just as a distraction. I suppose because of his immortality and the power that he holds, like it's just something that would be good.
But then it was made redundant almost.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Alright, so back to Operation Save Grandma.
Sorry, yes, back to the original plot of the story.
Everyone is tentative about Aurochs's involvement, but the boy, he has a connection to Grandma now. Like, she helped him, so he's going to help her out of obligation.
Savior complex.
Exactly. So he has like a little training camp moment because they want him to make sure he can control the bull. And this whole montage sequence of like Zoey and everybody holding their affinities or pointing their elements towards him, and like Darius and Stark and Rafim beating the shit out of him. It's just so funny.
Yeah, because they can't just circle.
Of course they do. Yeah, and I think in this, someone steps in for water.
Aphrodite.
Maybe Aphrodite,
Yeah. But then later...
In another circle, Shaylin steps in.
Yeah, well, and then Shaylin has an affinity for water.
Yeah,
because Aphrodite's like, oh, I have an idea.
Yeah. They're beating the shit out of Aurochs.
Yeah, because Aphrodite's just been so rude to Shaylin the whole time.
Yeah, like why?
Yeah, and then because like Shaylin also is like, oh, I see your colours, and like you can be like easily like doused out or whatever.
Yeah, because I think Aphrodite doesn't like the fact that she can't. Someone else like knows her vulnerabilities in a way and like can see who she truly is.
And then
Aphrodite masks it through bullying.
Yeah, it goes into like a whole
like
words.
we all know what she's like and like how she came to be because of her parents.
Yeah. And she has calmed down somewhat. I like her takes no bullshit attitude.
Yeah, like it's a good attitude to have, I feel
and also because she's not like she doesn't have anything to protect her anymore. So she's like, I'm gonna
just a vulnerable human.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hard on self-preservation.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
But anyway, so then like Shaylin and like Aphrodite have like this weird like frenemy kind of thing going on. Yeah. And then Aphrodite was good. She's like, no, I'm not going to stand in. Like I have an idea. Like let's put Shaylin in.
Yeah, because Thanatos really wanted them two to work together because of the whole.
They're both prophetesses.
Yeah, in their own right.
Yeah.
And so Aphrodite would be useful in trying to interpret the colors and like Shaylin's experiences, all that type of stuff, and it's worked out well for some. Right, Aurochs training camp. Yeah, that was just so funny because like the boys were just happy to be in
boys
like,
because like again in my mind I'm reading it's like, oh, it's been a couple of weeks, like they're still harboring all this anger, but then you're like, no, this is like literally the next day.
Yeah, and it's cathartic for them probably. So in my notes it goes in this order. I call it notes, but it's just like a sequence of events that helps prompt me to remember. It's like Operation Save Grandma. Operation Save Grandma fucks up. Everything goes wrong.
Everything goes wrong. Because of course it does.
I saw this thing online and it's like, I don't know if it's a particular element in like perhaps in TV shows and movies or even like books, but like if the writer or if the show reveals the plan, like step by step, it's not going to work. But if they're like, all right, here's the plan and then fade to black, it works. And it works. Or it's the other way around. I don't know. So like I had that thought, kind of like the Chekhov's gun shit. Like, it's like if you do it this way, I don't think it's like a rule, but like
no, that makes sense now.
But it just reminded me because they have a real distinct plan. Like they're gonna cast a circle around the hotel where Neferet's staying at, and they're gonna do this, and of course it goes to shit. So
the only thing that because I'm just gonna talk this, ignore what I just said. What I thought was going to go wrong was the Dallas and Aaron of it all, because part of their press conference or whatever and deflect. Like trying to prove that vampires aren't dangerous. Vampires aren't dangerous. So that humans have nothing to worry about at the house tonight. Thanatos, in part of her press conference, says, "Oh, well, actually, like we're opening up job applications to humans in our professor department. Like we need a drama professor, and we need a." It's
like a fair that they're trying to organize.
Yeah, so they're doing a job fair, and so to distract, because they figure out that Dallas is communicating with Neferet, so anything that they talk about or know about, she'll know about, and so same with Erin. So as part of this plan, Thanatos says, oh, like I want to have these like lights, like fairy lights essentially over the school to make like part of this job fair, like out in the courtyard. So she sends Dallas and Erin off to do that, to distract them. And I thought that's where it was going to go wrong, that they were just going to go straight to Neferet and be like, oh, blah, blah. Yeah,
but at the end of the day, they're just dumb teenagers who just want a sense of responsibility.
Yeah, they're like, ooh, responsibility.
Oh, we get to boss people around.
Yeah.
And they're going to make lightning. So and while that's happening, I guess this is when the group converges on the hotel and begins their plan.
Yes.
And just a lot of pages describing everyone's setup and the invoking of the protection circle. But then Clona was like, because he felt the protective circle obviously once being fulfilled with darkness. Like he's like, oh, if I can sense it, Neferet can sense it. And it kind of stuffs up a little bit, but like not a lot. And so the protective circle is cast, and then Aurochs is meant to go and kind of beg for forgiveness and grovel.
And get Grandma out of her cage and throw her off the balcony where Kelowna will catch her.
Oh, and also I must say, firstly, Kelowna tried to go there himself to save Grandma, like going back and grovel and be like, oh, I made a mistake, I choose you, my goddess. And then Neferet does not fall for that.
Because she's like, well, I can feel your oath to Thanatos or whatever.
And like there was something about like another oath that he could have made to her, and he was really like against it. But,
I think it's like a blood oath or something, because he's like, well, that if I do that, then game over.
Against Nyx. And like he's getting like subtle moments with like Nyx. Like
she appeared to him, when he was leaving that like just before him the battle with him and Neferet. And
Gives
he's
her
just
a bit
like,
of
oh my
confidence.
God, she hasn't left me. Like, yeah.
So he really does want her forgiveness. All right, Operation Save Grandma again goes to shit. I think Aurochs fucks it up. I think, or maybe Neferet just like knew that this was all bullshit. And so when there comes a timing point where Grandma was not thrown off the balcony, so he's like, fine, I'm going up there. So the whole group goes up there. And then as soon as they enter the building, Stevie Ray, Stark...
And Shaylin.
Oh yeah, Shaylin, because being a red vampire, they can't enter a place without being invited.
But yes, which I love that vampire law. I love it.
And so they're just like magically shoved back into the
elevator, yeah.
Because that's obviously the boundary set. So essentially it's just Zoey pretty much in there by herself against Neferet.
And they
Aurochs.
try to cast a circle, but like a Damien drops his candle, or like someone drops their candles, and then everyone. And but I was like, this is the first time in several books that I was reading or listening, and I was like, I can see this in my head. Like this is a cinematic moment, like this visual. And I was like, also, sorry. I was like, thank fuck that like a circle doesn't save the day, because every other book has been like, let's cast a circle, and like it works.
Yeah, I get that. I can imagine it, the fledglings pushed back into the thing, like Zoey
and like the slow motion dropping of the candle, so like the circle's broken, and Neferet would just be like, ha, 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 ha.
Grandma's like in the cage.
Yeah, like, oh, no more,
not my granddaughter.
I do have a big qualm.
Okay, yeah.
So previously, before they go, also because Zoey is moping before they go, because like, let's go to sleep or whatever, and so he's like, I can't just sleep while Grandma's been captured or whatever.
I've got to do something.
And she's like, Nick's like, how can I help or whatever? And then the Earth Mother appears to her, which I think is just like the Gaia, interpretation of Nyx. And Nyx is like, well, like it's time to grow up, like stop acting like a child, because like a child would be the one to mope around or whatever. And she's like, oh, like I get it. And then that's when they go and get everyone and get the plan going.
Yeah.
But Cremesha comes to her and is like, Zoey, like I have this poem and I need to tell it to you alone. I'm just gonna read it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read this poem. Ancient mirror, magic mirror, shades of grey, hidden, forbidden, within, away. Part the mist, magic kissed. Call the fae, reveal the past. The spell is cast. I saved the day.
Yeah. Thanks, James, for the. What about it?
I saved the day. Yeah. And so it's like, it's a spell. Like, it's not a prophecy, it's a spell or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, look.
And then because Neferet's like, Zoey, you can't always save the day. And then Zoe's like, actually, the spell, I saved the day.
Yeah. And then she uses the sea stone and invokes that spell. And it shows, like, Neferet when she was
mirror.
Younger.
It shows like a mirror.
Yeah. And the reflection is of a young Neferet, and she is like kind of beaten up, abused.
It's after her father had stolen her innocence.
Yes. Which is very...
Give me back my girlhood was mine first.
Which... and we get a touch a lot more into Neferet's backstory in the next book as well. So it is actually quite devastating. But
yeah, 11 books in.
But yeah, and also, is it a cop out that trauma?
And then so is it
the revisit of the trauma is what stops her.
The trauma is what stops her, and then that's like she's been carrying that for her whole life, and she's like, "This is why I'm evil." Yeah,
and it kind of distracts her trying to attack everybody, and then Aurochs turning into a ball because he can't control it because Neferet did something. And so he rams her off the balcony into the ground.
Yeah. And she looks gawked.
Yes. And then she skitters away into a million spiders.
Yes.
It's fucking gross.
Yeah.
You can just imagine that in a cinema as well.
Yeah.
Like you think she's dead and then...
Yeah. But I mean, why couldn't that have just been the end?
I know.
Like that should have been the end.
I would have been happy with that.
And I would have been fine with that. I'd been like, alright, like... No loose ends, really.
Yeah.
Except for Heath Aurochs, but
yeah,
I can move on from that.
Yeah, you can make up your own mind about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Aurochs asks her, because everyone sees also Aurochs' reflection in the mirror, and they see Heath.
And so Zoe's not crazy.
Yeah. And so everyone's like, what the fuck? And then I think Aurochs asks her, like, what was Heath to you or whatever?
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, Heath was my humanity.
Yeah, the end. So that was hidden.
Yeah.
No, revealed. Hidden. That was hidden.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty. As much as I say it is just like a book, it was a pretty intense book. There were action moments, which is good.
But also, it was 3 days.
And but Neferet finally made a big move. Trying to get Grandma. But at that point, you're playing with your food. Just kill her.
Yeah, just kill her straight away. And I think it was because of she couldn't because of the turquoise protection.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Things, but also don't keep her in Tulsa.
Yeah, I don't know, take her away.
Yeah, take her away and kill her.
All right, we're done with Hidden. Kenzie, you have 2 more books to go. How excited are you?
So excited.
So excited to be done.
I'm excited now that Revealed is done and I have one more.
Yes. Alrighty, Revealed. Neferet's just died.
Neferet has died.
Allegedly.
Revealed. Perhaps a good plot will be revealed to me.
I think making that joke twice, it's a little bit... but, oh well. Oh, he wants you to watch.
Stand by it.
You stand by it. So, but they don't. They start off kind of, I suppose, the next day, because they start off at the job fair.
Yeah.
So, like, everything's all
Oh,
planned.
no, it's been a week, they say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been like a little bit
of time.
Of a week, yeah. I think it was the last one, because they were doing the job fair on a Saturday. So I think it's Saturday to Saturday.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes the timeline a whole lot better. Everything is going well. Grandma has a lavender stand, selling all lavender-infused things.
Yes, Stevie Ray's mum and the PTA mums are selling baked goods.
Yes, everything is going according to plan.
Yes, the street cat sister Mary Angela is there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes another return.
Mm-hmm.
Love that for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just a moment where, there's a couple of...
Yeah, well, they're in the cat cages.
Yeah, oh yeah, around the cats, yeah. Because I think Shaylin wants a cat as well. Like, she wants a cat to choose me because being a new fledgling, she's learning about the cat's concept and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so, some spiders just keep appearing. And then hundreds start arriving.
Yes.
And thousands.
Yes.
A scary kind of, like,
I know,
situation.
considering it's like, it reminds me of Harry Potter when they're like, follow the spiders.
Follow the bloody spiders.
Why couldn't we follow the butterflies?
Yeah.
Ronald.
And so suddenly there are hundreds of spiders and, like, a shit ton. So Thanatos is like, cast a circle, because of course.
Yeah, circle save everything. She's like, I'll distract all the humans and we'll go into this big tent and I'll draw the raffle.
Yeah.
Must be a very good prize. Or was it? It was an antique car.
There's still a bit of tensions between the human and vampire communities due to Neferet's kind of lies and manipulation, as well as all the deaths and murder that have seemed to have happened on both sides. So Thanatos wants no human witnesses to it, which is fair enough, because this is a nice relationship building between the two communities and kind of liaisoning. So she fucks them off to do the raffle. Humans love raffles.
Yeah, I love a good raffle. I hope I win this raffle at the picnic day.
And so Zoey and Co cast a circle, but Erin decides to come back because she felt compelled to do this.
Well, yeah, and she could feel them, like, the energy of the circle, and she's like...
What happened to the last circle? Did she not feel and be like, I should head
She
this
was
way?
too busy making electricity with Dallas, girl.
That's fair. End of every part of his dialogue. Girl. Oh, hated it.
But it's like, you gotta get that, like, girl.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. Whatever you say, girl.
I'm a cowboy girl.
Zoey casts a circle. Dallas is very apprehensive for Erin to doing this, which is quite possessive of him, but, like, it could just be, like, he doesn't want her to reunite with her old friends, essentially.
Because he's like, you're with me now, girl.
Yeah. And so they cast a circle. The spiders are being banished, I guess, from the school perimeter, but at the very last moment, the spiders create almost like a physical manifestation of Neferet. As the spiders are then, like, destroyed again, she passes through Erin.
Yep.
A couple minutes later, subsequently,
Erin is dying. Yeah.
Erin is dying.
Yeah.
Rejecting the change.
Yeah. And she's like, I didn't think it would end like this. And it's like, well, you changed sides. Like, how did you think it was going to end?
Yeah, for sure. So that was fun.
Yeah, and there's a big debate about whether this was Neferet's doing or if Erin was just going to reject the change anyway.
Yeah, definitely a big debate throughout because Dallas uses this as he's trying to spin it as like, oh, Zoey killed his girlfriend. Yeah, like it wouldn't have happened if you didn't do the circle or whatever. For sure.
I think it was a mixture of both. I think that Erin would have rejected the change anyway because she chose to walk away from Nyx.
Yeah.
And then I think this just, like, sped it up.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, would you say, like, Nyx has the control over the fledglings to reject the change or whatever?
I think so, because everyone who's kind of turned away has been an adult vamp, and so it's like, well, they can't reject the change, so they have to be killed normally. And then, any fledgling that has...
But, like, what about the remaining... the red
well, we don't know yet. They're not vampires, they're
right,
fledglings, so we don't know yet.
And I suppose... Because,
like... And then they might all change, considering what happens in this book.
Imagine how easy this series would be if Neferet was like, lights out.
Yeah.
You're turning...
Exactly, like, she could have done it to anyone, like Zoey.
Yeah, but I suppose she's all about the free will and giving people a chance and a choice. But yeah, Erin dies, rest in peace. I wasn't expecting her to die, but although since she did become a bit more irrelevant in the past couple of books.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's like, okay, well, yeah, how are you going to bring her back now after she's been an asshole?
Yeah, for sure. It was the most stupidest things. Ugh. Anyway. So yeah, that happens. And then, so they're trying to just clean that all up. They start preparing, like, a pyre for her. But Jack got a pyre because of his, like, nature. Like, he had the respect to be of an adult vamp. Whereas Erin had a pyre for why. Also, for why is becoming my new favorite.
For why? You did this for why.
Must be nice and for why have been my top phrases the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, that confused me, the whole pyre thing. But maybe it's because she had such an emotional and like a strong bond with Shawnee and even I guess Dallas as well. Like it's probably the love.
I think also because she had an affinity.
Oh, that's true.
So she was blessed by Nyx.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, they're sorting that out, and obviously the fair is over, and so we get some point of views of Neferet or Neferet. Neferet. And she's like, she's not a full being anymore. Like, her body seems to be dead at this point. And so she's just, like, the essence of darkness skittering away. Yeah. And I think she finds, like, a fox or something, and she, like, sacrifices a fox, and she finds a den, and she spends a lot of time there just, like, sleeping, and, like, we get lots of
flashbacks, yeah. She's just, like, she's reliving her lives.
Yeah, and, in this little, well, at least the first half, in this little fox den. Because, yeah, this is where we learn a lot more about her backstory, and that she used to be...
Emily Warren?
Like Wheeler.
Wheeler. Sorry. I was like...
Warren. Like, Emily Warren sounds familiar.
I don't know where I got Warren from. I'm going to Google Emily Warren.
Yeah, why is it familiar? Is it Emily Warren?
Emily Warren.
I suppose it's pronounced Wheeler.
She's an American singer-songwriter.
Oh, that makes sense. I think I've heard of her before.
Maybe I saw like her name on TikTok or something.
Maybe. Yeah, that's where I think.
Emily Wheeler.
Yeah, so we get a bit of a glimpse of like, she was a young girl, abused and assaulted by her father, etc. And she gets touched by Nyx, or marked by Nyx.
She gets marked.
And blah, blah, blah. And then she develops the strength and courage, I guess, to kill her father, which is like probably the first ever bloodshed she's ever committed. And so it just progressively follows through her life and how she became like a fledgling and then a high priestess and then the queen.
Yeah, because she had her affinity for talking to cats.
Yes. She had a cat named Chloe.
Yeah, and then she could, read people's thoughts.
I think with the cat, like, it died.
Yeah.
And then she was, like, begging to, like, be able to fix the cat.
Yeah.
Begging Nyx. And then Nyx gave her the affinity to, like, save it, but also it was a
to, like, help souls ease death or something. Ease souls into death.
Oh, okay. Well, I skimmed a lot because I just wanted to get this done.
Yeah, no, she couldn't save the cat, and that's why when she started to turn, because she's like, well, fuck you. Like, why would you give me...
Yeah.
If I'm so blessed and touched, like, why couldn't you save my cat?
Yeah.
And then she gets the affinity to, like, be able to read people's thoughts. And then people, like, ask her, like, can you tell me what this person's thinking? Can you... Neferet, I want this. Neferet,
and she's like, fuck that. I want to be my own person.
But then it's also like, just speak up. Yeah. Just say, hey, I don't want to do that. Please give me a break.
Please leave me alone. Yeah, so obviously this is where, like, a bit of anger and resentment and all that shit is developed, so...
Yeah, when she could have just said... Because Nyx gives you free choice.
Yeah.
So she could have just said, I don't want to use my power to listen to other people's thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. And then it just even like her chapters are kind of broken up throughout the book, but it all leads to her becoming the queen.
To see Sigley.
Yes. I'm just gonna gesture whenever I need it.
And then we're together again today, guys. We're in person.
Oh yeah. That's all the background.
Yeah, and then also because there is a moment where because she was in a different city or whatever. She was in Chicago.
Yeah.
And she goes to Oklahoma because she, like, feels called to, like, the power there, which I guess is Kelowna buried under the tree.
Yeah, it's the Dark Whispers.
Yeah, because, she goes to the school before it's the House of Night, and, like, under the oak tree on the very eastern border of the school or whatever. And there's, like, I guess it must be a Cherokee woman or whatever singing, and then she's talking about, like, when Earth...
It's Kelowna's song.
Yeah, when Earth blood is, like, spilled on the floor or whatever. It's like, it's Stevie Ray.
Poem.
Yeah, it's a poem. And then she's like, oh, well, who's the to see sickly or whatever? And the old woman's like, you are, you demon woman or whatever.
Yeah, I think she kills her.
Yeah.
Yeah, thus first blood is spilled.
Yeah, but it's also like she knew that far back. Like,
yeah.
It's like, why has it taken you?
Again, it's all Nix's
Yeah, like,
power.
surely was there not any other fledglings that had affinities?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that you could have used.
Yeah. So then that's pretty much that her backstory covered, which is good. But then, yeah, as I said...
But again, this is book 11.
Book 11, yeah.
And you're just now...
And then she has her own novella, so it would be interesting to, like, in our own time.
Yeah, I don't know if they're all... They might be prequels, though. About, yeah, well...
Yeah.
And that's
it would be about her time being Emily, and then...
Yeah, because Lenobius is called Lenobia's vow, so I imagine it goes through, her and Martin, and then, like, her vow to not take another...
Human
lover, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and as I just said, these chapters for Neferet are broken up throughout the book, then. So we're just getting that out of the way.
Yeah. You know what would have been more interesting?
What?
If this was in, like, book 3.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, it would have shown, like, her lead up to, like, from that to now. Yeah.
Yes. Instead of, like, her just being evil and then going back to when how she became evil. Yeah, for sure. There's a moment where, like, the manifestation is lingering, like, it needs, like, blood. It needs to find a way to survive. And who better than to chomp on Mr. Charles Lafont? Sir Lafont, which, if you're playing along at home, is Aphrodite's father.
The mayor of Tulsa.
Yes, he gets his
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
He gets his throat ripped out. But once again, Neferet is managed to form, like, a weak physical manifestation of herself enough to be able to draw Charles to her, I guess. Yeah. And, like... she's naked. It gave her very sensual vibes.
I thought she was just going to, like, fuck him. And then drink his blood or whatever. And then I didn't think she was going to kill him. Yeah.
But, like, they're in a public place. They're leaving the fair. And, like, his wife is calling him to move the fucking car. So, like, they don't have time. But, yeah, she just rips his throat out, drinks him, and then scurries off. And
Good
then... Good soup. Oh, no. And then Aphrodite's mother, I don't even know her name. Let's call it Karen.
Yeah, Karen.
Karen Lafont.
Karen Lafont.
Finds him and screams bloody murder.
And then it's funny because Erin has died, so people are, like, upset about that, confused, and then, like, she's screaming, and then Lenobia's like, I know that it's upsetting, but, like, the dying of a fledgling is, like, part, and she's like, they killed my husband, like.
So this is where the tensions between human and vampires arise again, because once again a vampire has killed a human and knows... Frances
Lafont.
I do not remember her name being Frances, but okay.
That's what it says. I don't remember it being Frances either.
Yeah,
but anyway.
I thought it was something else. Anyway.
Oh, she's dead as well, so...
Oh, rip.
Spoiler.
Honestly, better for it. Aphrodite would be better for it, to be honest. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and then, Frances is like, oh, they killed him, and then, obviously now we have the human police involved. They want to, like, a DNA test all the vampires' professors, but that's seems to be against, like, vampire rules and stuff about entwining human affairs with vampire affairs, etc. So that's a whole political thing as well. And Aphrodite is very well upset because, her father died and it's quite a traumatic thing. And, like, she pretty much breaks up with her mum as well. Her mum disowns her because her mum gave her an ultimatum between, like, being a vampire or living with her mum. And Aphrodite hadn't seen her for, like, 4 years or something, she said, or even 4 months. I don't know. It was a long-ass time. And so, like, Aphrodite ultimately chooses the vampires' House of Night because she's still a prophetess despite being human, so it's a good choice.
Well, she's still touched by Nick, so she has, like, some sort of connection.
And so everyone's happy with that decision, although Aphrodite is just, greatly upset and she wants to drink and have a Xanax. There's a lot of mentions of Xanax in this book. It's like pop a wine and a Xanax. Yeah. Is Xanax supposed to be just, like, a higher painkiller, or is it just, like, Panadol for us?
Xanax is, like, an antidepressant.
Oh, depressant. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, antidepressant.
Ah, okay. I thought it was, like, a painkiller. It's
in
a way. Yeah, Frances just, like, goes on a merry way, although she does go to the news about... She gets interviewed by the news.
I mean, essentially, I'm going to speak to your manager.
Pretty much, very much Karen vibes. Yeah. So that's fun. And then after, like, that night, I think everyone's just trying to organise Erin's pyre and funeral celebrations and stuff. Also, not that Aphrodite's day could get any worse. She has a really distraught type of vision.
Yes.
And visions are back.
Yeah,
it's been a little while, I feel.
It's been, she said in, like, what did she say, in, like, the past week she hasn't had one or something, so it hasn't been that long, but yeah. In terms of books, it's been a while.
Yeah. So she has a vision, and it's pretty much, it's the exemplify, this book is pretty much keep Zoey not stressed.
Yeah, but it feels also very reminiscent of Zoey will destroy the world if she's alone.
Yes.
And instead of like an outside force causing Zoey to be alone, Zoey's doing the damage herself.
Yeah. But yeah, so Aphrodite has a vision of Zoey, a moment like it's like 3 separate like moments or scenes where she 1 drinks Oryx's blood, 2 she fights with Stark, and 3 she kills 2 humans.
Yeah.
And then she goes to jail and she's like, I deserve this, and rots away and dies essentially. So that's the vision. Aphrodite chooses to neglect telling anybody.
Yes.
Which we have learned, if you tell somebody, it's gonna fucking not come true.
Yes.
Which I feel like it's a backward step for Aphrodite, because she's been very good at telling people like the visions, or at least telling Zoey or like one other person.
And also, that's very important. Like, and she sees that like Zoey is being tense and stuff. So like.
Yeah, Zoey's very tense and stressed throughout this entire book, because she like feels like she hasn't been able to do anything, which is, I think it's great that she's become so angry and pissed, because she has held so much responsibility.
Yeah. Do you think though, because in this book Stark like becomes quite possessive?
Yes.
Because he saw like Oryx's Heath, and then he's like, I don't want you to hook up with Oryx, like I don't want you to be, so he like becomes quite possessive around Zoey and Oryx when they're like together.
Yes.
Do you think it's like the Eric Knight treatment that he's gotten? Yes, and I'm like, why? Like, he was so different from Eric. Yeah.
But I suppose there's also that, because, again, I suppose it's more 98% Aurochs and 2% Heath. Yeah. But, like, at the end of the day, Aurochs did kill somebody.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Stark also has done bad things. Yeah. So, like, I don't know. But yeah, it's very much, I feel like Stark, could have been better than this.
Yeah.
And it's all just to, like, again, stress Zoey out. Yeah. And then there's more, like, bickering between characters and stuff in this book, and that's what stresses her out as well, because she's like, can we all just fucking get along? Yeah. We have a prominent news reporter that, like, Damien freaks out about, like, Kimiko. I forgot her first name, but that's the last name. And Damien's
Shari or something?
Yeah, and then Damien's obsessed with her. So she wants to report pretty much the school, showing them being like normal.
Yeah, because she was both sides
vampire normal at least.
And she was like, Adam says to say hello. And it's like, once again, you are an adult passing on a message to a teenager from an adult. Yeah.
So they're trying to do everything they can to kind of themselves save face, even though they don't have a face to save, but it's all to like counteract what the damage that Neferet has done, essentially. By turning the humans against the vampires.
Yeah. And so they show, like, the kids eating breakfast in the cafeteria.
And
like,
that's all they get.
Normal. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of interviews and then bye-bye.
Yeah.
Kelowna has, like, another... Oh, they find that... And the rest of the... Zoey and the group are trying to find a basement because they want to be close, but they
want to say... Because they're not allowed to leave to go back to the depot tunnels because Detective Marks, another reappearance,
Hello, where have you been, sir?
Our
Jesus.
fave police officer... So they are not allowed to leave because there's an active investigation. So like we need to find somewhere safe for the red fledglings to be during the daylight hours. So they look for a basement. They find one. It's full of weapons because Dragon knew about it because of the sword. And they find it and it's full of weapons that are like fully bejeweled.
Yeah.
Yeah, like worth a fortune. And I'm getting very much Chekhov's guns vibes from these jewels and them. Yeah. Like if we run out of money, like this is how we're gonna get money. Yeah. But yeah, so they do that. And a lot of time is spent on, there's a basement. We need to go and see if Neferet knew about this. We need to go and talk to Kelowna. Kelowna's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, speaking of Kelowna,
you did it!
They go visit Kelowna, and Kelowna, again, he's like seeing things and feeling moments of Nyx, and Erebus arrives again.
Erebus is pretty much like, fuck you. Like
he's like rescind your position because obviously he doesn't, because it's Erebus's name, and like he doesn't want Kelowna to taint that.
I think he does, like, he says, I'll be your warrior, but I'm not going to lead.
Yeah, leads the son of Erebus.
Yeah.
He's not going to command them and all that type of stuff. So yeah, Kelowna's just hiding the fact that Erebus is appearing to him. Yeah,
and there's also a moment where I think like he's talking to Zoey or something, and then he hears like a voice like, "You have to remember, she's not me."
Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah, and it's like, Nyx, hello.
Yeah. And we learned that Kelowna and Nyx are brothers as well, so where was this information?
Kelowna and Nyx.
No, sorry, Kelowna and Erebus.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, where was this in the history?
Yeah.
Like, again, is this just like a blemish of history?
But then he does say, he was like, I would have been called like the Guardian of Night, I wouldn't have been called Kelowna. He's like, go ask Damien.
But like, where was this?
Again, where was this in the Sociology 101?
Yeah, like, Jesus. Anyway, so that's a whole thing. Although, Zoey brushes over the fact that this is new information, but like not to deal with right now. So, are we going to learn about it in the last book? I don't think so, but maybe. So yeah, that's a thing. And Erebus is like, I don't know about a basement.
Yeah.
Again, it's just squabbling about the basement.
Yeah. So much time is spent on this basement.
And there's also a council meeting that happens, and Thanatos decides to abdicate her role because she wants to separate the House of Night from the High Council. I forget, like, why.
Because they're not going to do anything about Neferet.
That's right.
Because they're like, well, we've shunned her. Like, now it's on you guys. And because she wants this, she asks them, like, can you please intercede with this investigation? Because they want to start getting DNA, but they know that Neferet can, like, plant DNA or whatever.
Yep.
For the investigation of Aphrodite's dad's death.
Yes. Ooh, say that 5 times fast.
Aphrodite's dad's death. I can't even say it once.
Aphrodite's dad's death.
Aphrodite's dad's death. Anyway, and then the High Council's like, well, yeah, we shunned Neferet, so now it's on you. And she says, like, oh, well, Queen Skiak can, like, in the island of Skye or whatever, why can't, like, we be separate or whatever? And they're like, blah, blah, blah. And then I think she's like, oh, maybe it's time, for Tulsa to be its own.
Yeah, and so they've separated from the High Council, so that's fun. And Thanatos, again, abdicates her position.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then Aphrodite's quite impressed. She's like, you got balls, dude. Because it's like a big ball play.
Yeah. Dallas tries to kill Stevie Ray.
Yeah, that's fun.
But then, there's just like this whole thing about how because Raphael is a bird in the day, and he's all like to Stevie, because she's like, oh, you come back to me. And he's like, it's nothing. I don't remember you when I'm a bird. I don't feel love. I don't feel anything. Like, and then she's like, oh, but you come back. And it's like, stop making something out of it that it's not. And she's like, oh, maybe you just have like a GPS in you. Like it's part of Nyx's magic that you come back.
GPS.
And then, Dallas tries to kill Stevie Ray by like exposing her to sunlight. And then Raphael is like just after his turn into his raven form.
He flies his little tail back.
Yeah, so he flies back and he attacks Dallas. So there goes that theory of like, and then I think afterwards it's like Raphael's just like, oh, I could feel like your pain or whatever. And I knew that I needed to do something.
To save you and all that type of stuff. Yeah.
So then Kelowna and Stark hunt down Dallas.
Yep, because it's a part Thanatos ordered it as well.
Yeah, Thanatos
so
ordered
they have, like Stark and Kelowna have a fun little hunting session, I must say. Work together. Yeah. And again, Zoey, there's more bickering between everybody, and Zoe's stressing out a little bit more. Shaylin is exposing everyone's colours again, except her and Aphrodite are becoming more of a close pair.
Yes, because Aphrodite has told Shaylin, not like the extent of everything, but she's like, keep an eye on Zoey.
Colours,
and if she does this, like, blah, blah, blah.
And it's described as Zoe's colours gets a bit whirly, like a tornado.
Yeah, they're purple and silver usually, but they get like whirly.
So Shaylin has revealed Nicole's colours, and her colours are good.
They're she's no longer red.
Yeah, she's like pink. Nice. She's a girly girl. We love that.
Same.
And everyone just made the assumption that she hooked up with Dallas, but she revealed that she never did. Yeah. And so Shaylin is keeping an eye on everybody's colours. Yeah. And Zoe's stressing the fuck out about everything.
Yeah, then Thanatos calls like a whole school assembly, if you will, and they drag Dallas out because he's been captured. So Dallas has been brought in front of the whole school. That's right. Yeah. And then Thanatos, whatever her name.
Take a breath. Start again.
So then Thanatos goes into this whole spiel about like
ancient times
and ancient punishment and blah blah blah. What did you think was going to happen here?
I knew he was going to die.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting Kelowna.
I thought he was going to be burned.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Kelowna cuts his head off. Yeah. And I
was
audibly gasped out loud.
Really?
Yeah, I was like,
as if it's the first time he's ever killed someone or something.
I know, but still, just in front of the whole school, and it's a fledgling,
It's weird, like, Thanatos, she really wants everyone...
I was worried. I was like, is she becoming Neferet? Yeah, 2.0.
Yeah. No, I just think it's great that she has put her foot down. She's like, all right, at this point in time, if you are anything but light, fuck off, or you're going to die.
Yeah, and it's like he did, attempt to murder a high priestess.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, she's like, oh, anyone who stands with him, like, step forward. And then Elliot, thank God he's out of the picture now.
Yeah, he's done nothing, man.
Yeah, Elliot and then some other guy. Curtis?
Yeah, a guy named Curtis.
Step forward, and then Kelowna, takes them out into, like, the Midwest.
Yeah, away from...
Yeah, so that they're away from adult vampires, so that they'll reject the change.
And inevitably die.
Yeah.
A slow and painful death.
Yeah. Alone.
So, alone, that was intense, dude. Like, that was so cool, though. But, Thanatos really needs to stand per authority. And, what's that accent? Authority. And, like, if you're anything... Because, ultimately now, this is where the battle is becoming against Neferet and stuff. So, if you're anything but dark, if there's a shadow of a doubt, you're gone.
Yeah, so
I like that stamp of authority.
I know, that was good. I was like, yes.
Yeah. Because they're just... dancing around like, oh, this is all choice, but like so long as they don't do anything, like it's fine. But it's like no.
Yeah, and then like Zoe's siesta like heated up, and then she had like this like power to her voice, and she's all like, my circle and I like stand, or like I'll stand with you, like against evil or whatever. And then everyone like slowly comes forwards, like I'll stand with you. Yeah,
I didn't realize that it was heating up because she was feeling a bit emotional in that moment. I thought it was more like something needs to be seen.
Yeah,
that's why I thought, look at your fucking glass.
Yeah, and then, but I was thinking, I was like, this is so cringe. Like, a bunch of, like, 16, 17-year-olds being like, I stand with Nix.
Yeah.
And then bowing.
Execute.
Yeah.
This is your judgment.
Yeah.
Although Stevie Ray would have been there, but she is very burned, so Zoe stood in her place.
She's wounded.
So, yeah, that happened. That's fun. And then, so in that moment, Thanatos seems to have the house kind of united because... obviously, the red fledglings who were with Dallas have decided to not have the similar fate.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, no, thank you.
I can hear her purring from here. Your little purr machine.
Brr, she loves me.
Binksy baby. Maybe we should put her on the story. Take a nice picture of her later.
I have lots of nice pictures of her.
Just spam.
Please don't hurt me.
So yeah, that happens, and then I think... there's still Aurochs chapters as well, and like he's trying to find his place in the world still. He's still having his existential crisis.
He gets drunk with some human teenagers.
Oh yeah, that's right. And he keeps saying some vampire pussy.
Yeah, they want vampire pussy.
Yeah, they're just peeking through like a hole in the wall, and yeah, he gets drunk.
It's like,
which is very Heath-like.
You've got legs and tits.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so lighthearted.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cute, and Stark helps him out though because he has to red fledgling them away.
Yes.
And he convinced them that he was a cop and he was always patrolling.
Yeah,
so
that was his patrol.
Which is smart.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then obviously when Aurochs was first started drinking, I was like, this is Heath.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, and because, Zoe says as well, like, oh, you're never able to handle your alcohol or something
Yeah, and then Aurochs keeps calling Zoe, which is very Heath-like, and she told him not to do that, but he still slips out. And that's where Stark also gets, possessive and annoying. So, yeah, and then I think at some point... I think it was like after the circle or something. Oh, because they have the funeral pyre. They hold the funeral and it's all sad, blah blah blah. Zoe's exhausted from doing the circle, performing, and so she goes to the kitchen, and I think Aurochs is there. Part 1 of Aphrodite's vision, like you could just see it play out.
Yeah, he's like, I want to. I love these
tension moments,
exclamations.
Yeah.
Of. Yeah, he's like, I don't know anything. He's like, all I know is that, like, I want to touch you and I feel like I'm going to die if I can't. I'm like, Orcs. Yes, daddy. Take me. I'll suck your blood.
I'll suck your finger.
Yeah. And then, he cuts his finger, very reminiscent of old Heathy boy.
Yeah, because Heath would do it just like, here you
go. And then Zoe, like, licks his finger, which is very funny.
Anything but a finger. Like, come on.
I know. Like, your neck at least. Make it sensual. But then she's like, wait, I can't.
I'm cheating on Stark.
Yeah.
Because she has the whole quarrel of, Stark is her, like, warrior, guardian, lover, boyfriend, all the things. And she realizes, like, even though when Heath was alive, she could have both, this would be totally different. And it's definitely something that's
Stark and then, like, Stark even says, like, oh, I know I said I'd share you with him, but that was when he was dead.
So, Zoe runs off. And so, I just thought, part 1 of Aphrodite's vision coming true. Yep. And then I think on the way back, this is where she catches...
Oh, she goes and talks to Lenobia.
Oh, that's right. The boyfriend of Vice.
Yeah, and Lenobia, is like, oh, like, you shouldn't be... Like, you're allowed to take multiple lovers without judgment or whatever. Like, blah, blah, blah. And this is where I have a thing. Lenobia is saying, like, oh, you're a very special first-year fledgling. So this is all still within Zoe's first year of being Margaret. I thought she'd at least be, because they've had Christmas, but then I remember because America school year finishes in June for summer, because they finish for summer as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, look, it's whack.
Yeah, so much has happened. Her mum's died, her grandma's nearly died, her best friend's died twice, Heath's died, all in a year.
Aaron's died.
A
lot of tragedy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but also by the same token, Lenobia's like, but ultimately you'd have to choose. Like, it's like, you complicated my situation. It's like, sorry. But funny coming from Lenobia, who's only ever vowed to love one person.
Yes, but she's like, but that was my choice.
Yeah, fair enough, So and then I think then she goes back. Or, like, her and Stark,
they have
conversations.
Yeah. Oh, they have a fight. She's like, you've got to stop being so possessive. She's like, because I love you. She's like, I'll always love Heath, though. She's like, so it's confusing. That, like, she's like, but, I love you. Like, I want you.
Yeah. And so he's happy that she chose him.
Yeah.
So is that endgame? Or we've got a book to go, I guess.
I always think back, because, I've never read the last one. Like, I hadn't read these ones, and I've never read the last one.
Oh, yeah.
So remember at the start, I was like, I wish Zoey and Heath would have been endgame.
Yeah.
But the only way I can see that happening now is Stark dying.
Yeah. At this point, he's almost just as unkillable.
Yeah, exactly. But so this is, where she hears Shaylin and Aphrodite.
She goes to talk to Aurochs as well. She breaks up with Aurochs.
Oh, yeah.
And then she comes back, and then she hears Aphrodite and Shaylin talking about how her colours are changing, and then Zoey feels betrayed.
Yeah, and then because Shaylin says, after the beheading of Dallas, she's like, I was watching Zoe's colours. She's like, so I followed her to the cafeteria, and she sucked Aurochs' blood.
Yeah. And again, part one of Aphrodite's vision coming true, and Aphrodite gets very worried. And then just out of the shadows, Zoey reveals herself, and she's like, shut up, and she gets angry and pissy. And then Aphrodite's like, well, chill, because obviously the stress levels are through the roof, and she doesn't want the rest of her vision to come true. But Zoe's getting there. She's pissed off. She uses the seer stone, because her emotions are amplified. She knocks Shaylin on her butt, which is very interesting, because it's the first time she's ever hit or hurt anybody within her circle. Shaylin's an honorary member of the circle.
Yeah.
So Shaylin's also very upset because her high priestess has just hurt her. And so Zoey starts running away. She's like, I need to get the fuck out of here. She can't be within the realm of the school, so she's off out into normal society, and she runs into a couple of humans in a park. They're asking for money, just trying to scare people for money or whatever, muggers, I'd say, probably worse intentions, but whatever. She doesn't put
petty
up with
thieves.
Yeah, she doesn't put up with their shit, so she's very pissed off, more so just for this whole situation, but I suppose with the build-up of everything else. Yeah. And so her emotions are amplified through the seer stone, so she shoved these two guys against the wall, and they're bleeding, blah blah blah. Part 3 of 3 of Aphrodite's vision coming true.
Yep, they die.
Detective Marks makes another return, and so he goes to the school. He's like, these two humans were dead, and Zoe's like, it's me. I want no lawyer.
I wouldn't say anything. I'd be like, oh, that's funny.
Right to remain silent. Don't talk to without lawyer. But she's like, I don't want a lawyer. I did it. I don't want bail. Blah blah blah. And Detective Marks is like, are you sure, kid? And then she's like, yeah.
But also she's a minor, so she would be assigned a lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But and then so she's taken to jail.
Yeah. She gives the seer stone to Aphrodite.
Yeah, because she realizes how dangerous it actually is, and how dangerous old magic seems to be. Which I'm still kind of confused about old magic. I thought it was all about seeing sprites and stuff. We haven't seen sprites.
I don't understand why it was introduced, and now it's just this dark and dangerous thing that Zoey doesn't understand. And it's can someone just for once help her?
Yeah, for sure.
I know, and I'm so sick of Nyx being like, you had to figure these things out by yourself.
Yeah,
and it's okay, but look at the mess that this is creating.
Yeah, is it even worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the end of this book where, everybody comes and visits her in jail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Zoey wants to be alone, and with being alone, she's rejecting any sort of visitation because she thinks she deserves this. She deserves to die, so being far enough away from the adult vampires, she will inevitably reject the change and die. But of course, Thanatos Lenobia is there. Stevie Ray, Stark, and Grandma are all there to kind of comfort her and have a moment. And ultimately, they kind of change her mind, and so they're going to try and get her out of jail. But they're in lockdown now because there's a commotion downtown, and we'll get to that. Because Neferet decided to massacre an entire fucking church congregation.
Oh, yes.
And it's a little bit out of order.
I've been told, I've read a little bit of something that happens in the next book.
Yeah, okay.
About that. But also, Stevie Ray is a red fledgling and Stark is a red vampire. Could he not just...
be near?
No, could he not just, police, it wasn't Zoey, you've got the wrong person, blah, blah, blah.
I get that, but, I think they trust Detective Marks.
They do, but also, she admitted to murder, so once you admit your guilt...
Yeah, look...
Maybe you should get a plea deal.
Maybe, a plea deal.
Yeah.
They'll sort it out. Because they got bigger fish to fry because of what's Neferet's happening. What's going on
you could be
Neferet.
this was Neferet who killed these men, clearly, because she was like, that was just her warm-up.
Yeah, they might spin it that way. I don't know, haven't gotten that far in the next book.
Yes.
But so, Neferet is feeling a bit more... physically able, I guess. She's a bit more recovered from her spidey senses. And so she went to this church congregation and she's, I don't know, playing with her food again, you know, talking seamlessly to these people.
I'm over her, like, not actually making moves.
No. And so, yeah, so she slaughters everybody in that congregation.
I mean, that's a move, but...
Yeah. And then the white bull kind of appears in her mind again and she's like, now I'm impressed because you just massacred a bunch of people, church people. So that's fun for her. So now the bull darkness is, like, here again. So yeah, and that's pretty much where the book ended, but I would like to make a quick moment. We do have a Shaylin chapter, which is fun. She's upset, she's crying, and Nicole comforts her, and they have a smooch. They kiss.
Lesbians!
Gay rights!
One of them's gonna die.
Hopefully not. So yeah, that was just a fun little revelation.
Oh my god, lesbians, I love that.
Let's go, lesbians, let's go.
Let's go.
So that's fun. I suppose when one gay relationship ends, another one blossoms.
Another the moonlight.
The moonlight.
I've also
out of the sapphic moonlight.
Read that there's like a side story called Loved.
Really?
And it takes place a year after the next one.
Okay.
A year after the next one finishes. But Aphrodite changes
into a vampire. Oh, that's cool. I'm surprised Zoey has not had the change yet.
I know, right?
This is, again, if
I guess once she completes the final
piece.
Yeah, the final big bad.
Yeah, she'll probably
change, I reckon,
she
at the end.
She hasn't received a lot of tattoos either since, like, halfway through.
I reckon she'll change at the end of the next one.
I reckon. She's gonna have to.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool that Aphrodite... Because, like, yeah...
I was worried, because I'm like, well, she's, like, mated to Darius. I was like, is she just gonna get old?
And like, oh yeah, Darius has been so cool.
Yeah, I love Darius.
He's my favourite character.
Yeah.
He's just, like, also no bullshit, takes no bullshit, just, like, warrior. She's not possessive. Sorry, I had a little burp and then I tried to talk. He's not possessive of, like, Aphrodite in any means. Because, like, even when they were trying to save Grandma, like, I think Shaylin and Darius, or somebody and Darius had to pretend to be dating.
Shawnee and Darius.
Yeah. And then Aphrodite was like, yeah, you fake relationship with my boyfriend or something like that.
Yeah, you faked the hell out of that or something.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But now Neferet is batshit crazy and she's back. She's obviously not dead.
Of course.
So that's fun. And
it's
now,
like Harry Potter when Voldemort's back. It's like, he's back.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it for these two books, which we've got one to go, Kenzie.
Yeah.
One to go.
Yeah. I'm very excited for this to end.
I'm just going to delete this from my phone.
Oh, so good. Yeah, as always, everyone, thank you for listening. We hope you've stuck around this long, and we hope that when after next week we have a break, so that's fun.
No, we don't.
Sorry. Yeah, no. It starts with us. Is this week?
All right, pause. In our actual timeline, it starts with us this Monday, and then it's destined.
Oh,
and then it's these two, and then it'll be the last book.
That's right.
We got the last book next week.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, it'll come out when it comes out, everyone.
Yeah. I'm so glad to be done with it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get some Christmas, in the Christmas spirit. We're going to have some Christmas romance books, I guess. And with that. But yeah, keep an ear out for our Christmas books and stuff. And yeah, it should be fun. I'm so glad to almost be done.
Yes.
I don't regret that we did this, Kenzie. It's been so long, right? It's taken a long
time. I wish we had done like 2 books in one every time.
Perhaps.
Yeah, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
But we've got one book to go.
Yeah, one book to go. Very excited.
Easy peasy. So keep an ear out for Redeemed next week.
Yes.
And yeah, the conclusion, we'll see how it all ends.
Yes.
And on my Kindle, it says it's like 290 ebook pages, and I feel like that's the smallest.
Yeah,
book.
it's not it's like the same size as these ones.
So like, I'm hoping that all loose ends are relatively tied up and everything's all good. Finally gets to the conclusion. And I'm sure we're going to bitch and moan about it.
Yes. I will take a shot to celebrate.
Let's have a drink as well in celebration.
Yes.
A celebratory drink.
Yes, I'll have a celebratory wine with blood.
Yes. Yeah, of course. As per the vampiric ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, thanks for listening. Check us out on all our socials. Best way to find us is Instagram. Link in the bio.
For our link tree.
Yeah, you lead us to all the places. But yeah, keep an ear out for next week. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.